So I got one and it's really good, but who's it for? Hello, Dave here again from Creative Guitar Lounge. You've probably seen an awful lot of videos on this little thing, which is the Valeton or Valeton GP5. So I'm not going to repeat everything that you've probably seen and that I saw, which eventually made me go and get one of these. You know, it's all good. There's lots of videos out there that you can see if you want to hear the sounds that are on it, and you know, all the instructions and how to use it and so on. There's people who have done all that work, so I'm not going to just do my copy of it. But what I wanted to just cover was, like I said in the intro there, who is this actually for? To summarise what you probably already know, this is a tiny, really inexpensive, really solid little pedal which contains a whole bunch of amplifier models, IRs, cabinet impulse responses, NAM files. So you've got a whole bunch of amps and guitars in here, cabinets that are really good, as well as a bunch of effects that you can add, you know, and subtract and tweak and so on. And you couple it with a phone app. I'm filming on the phone, so I can't show you that, but again, you've seen that. So you really need the phone app to use this properly. And then you've basically got, you know, a whole bunch of amps and effects in a box. And, you know, there's loads of videos out there saying that you could use this as your full guitar rig. There's people coupling it up with sort of MVAVy little foot pedals to turn it into something that's a bit more usable, which we'll come to. But you can also download and add IRs and NAM files yourself. So and it's just an incredible thing. I mean, I got this. I actually had a looper pedal, a Legato looper pedal, which I'd got to muck around with, and I just wasn't using it, so I sold that. And for the price I got for that and another little pedal that came with it, it covered the price of this, which was £65 on Amazon. Incredible. I'll put my link underneath here if you want my Amazon link. If you buy it through that, I'll make a few pence. But whatever. Just wanted to talk about it. So what it is good for is all of these sounds, which are pretty good. It comes with 50 different presets for guitar and bass already programmed into it. And as with all of these kind of all-in-one effects, modular type things, since they began sometime in the 80s, there's one or two good ones. A load of them are just a little bit over the top and not particularly usable. So you can go in and tweak them all. They're just presets that have been set up for you. So that's all good. You can go in there and kind of tweak them and use them. What you can't really do with this very easily is it doesn't replace something like a footboard. You have all the effects in there and you can manipulate them. You can arrange for this little switch to do a variety of different things. You can make it bring a couple of things in and out on whatever amp you're set on. Otherwise, it really just scrolls you through the presets, either the ones that are in here or the ones that you create. And there's various ways that you can set up. Again, go and look for those videos. It's quite versatile from that point of view. But usability. So I decided I wanted one because I've got the full kind of setup up here that you've probably seen if you've watched some of my other videos. Got the studio up in the attic that we built. And I've got a couple of amps set up here. I've got a big loud Marshall valve amp, and I've got a little Black Star, and I've also got a little Roland Cube set up here, and I've got monitor speakers, and I've got two different interfaces set up here. And that's when we're up here, my partner and I, basically doing some pretty serious recording. But we also like to just sit downstairs in our living room and have a little jam with an acoustic and maybe an electric to come up with ideas and so on. And I thought, yeah, this would be great for that, because I don't need an interface or anything, because this has a USB output which enables it to effectively be an interface. So my thoughts were, oh, that's excellent. I can have all these really great sounding amps and effects and so on, and all I need is one cable, plug it into my laptop, fire up Logic Pro, and I'm good to go. And to some extent that is true. But what I have found with this, and I must admit also with my old Boss GT100, also on that little Black Star amp, they're not very good. The quality of that one cable. I'm finding with this on my laptop, and it may just be a cable thing, but there's quite a lot of latency, which makes it, I mean, it's playable, and you can do the sort of kind of low latency setting on Logic Pro and so on, but I'm still finding it a little bit hard to use that way. So again, and this isn't a big deal for me, I'm probably going to have to add another interface just to keep downstairs for using it in that way, because I'm finding the USB thing not very satisfactory. But that could just be a cable thing, because cables do vary quite a lot, so it might be worth me investing in a different cable that's specifically for data transfer rather than just power. It kind of doubles up if you're using it in this, so that might be the problem. So it's good from that point of view. If I'm going to use this the way I wanted to, I'm just going to find a sound or set up a sound that I want and kind of stick with that. I've actually recorded it doing just that on songs that we're working on at the moment, and it's pretty good. It's better than many of the amps that come in the Logic Pro, the kind of modelers that are in there. So it's pretty usable. I've also tried it through into the effects return of my Marshall combo, Marshall 2x12 combo, and it's pretty good. You just have to, on the app, turn the cabinet off if you're going to do that, because you're just basically using your amp and speakers that are in that, with the amplifier models that are in this. So it sounds good that way. It's really good through an interface. You can do you can take a mono or stereo cable out of this and into an interface, mono or stereo. Really good for no latency problems there whatsoever. Sounds great. You can also just use that with headphones, and again, fantastic for practicing and sounds really good. So to get to the, finally, I suppose, get to the point, I've sort of started this with who is this for? Well, I think it's for that. I mean, I've seen a lot of videos of people using them with a pedal board as basically their whole setup instead of amps. I'm not sure if I would try that myself, but I have to kind of bow to their experience, because I haven't tried that. I have tried it through my own amps and it sounds pretty good, so I don't see why not. I also don't see why in a live situation you couldn't just use that straight into a PA system if you've got a monitor giving you your sound back at you. I mean, that's essentially one of the things that you could do with this. But I would suggest it's mainly for, it's most people are going to find it useful for what I'm kind of using mine for, which is as something convenient and easy to set up and get great sounds anywhere on the go with a cable on a laptop, basically. Or even through the, I mean, I also have it set up through my stereo system downstairs in our living room, and that sounds fantastic. I've just got a stereo cable going out into the amp on my hi-fi separate system through the big speakers in the living room. Sounds fantastic. So a brilliant little thing, but it has its limitations, and hopefully I've kind of gone over them. But I mean, at this price, these limitations, I must admit, kind of pale into insignificance. So I would not hesitate in encouraging you to get one of these if you think it's something you'd use. So again, hope that's been useful. If so, leave a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Helps me out an awful lot. See you next time. Cheers for now.